abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what he did. No. That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know
that's
what that
that's
was.
what they want. Please don't let them know.
It's not about him, Ilhan. It's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. 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 Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us. Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation.
So I want to swing to Ilhan real quick, right? Before we talk about Alex. Let me play this.
Republicans turning the heat up on Ilhan Omar. They want to know how she got all that money.
What your response is to the Oversight Committee launching an investigation into your net worth, you and your husband's net worth. They're claiming that it's risen rapidly. What's your response to what they're saying?
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. All right, Mr. Comer, you were in banking before politics, right? So she suddenly, in 1 year, after being worth a few $1,000s, is now worth $30 million. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, and the way the financial disclosure forms are, there's a big variation. But here's what we know: she went from zero to anywhere between $6 and $30 million in a year. Now, why is that relevant? First of all, I don't know many people that go from 0 to 30 without having a legitimate business. Her husband is in some type of finance business, but we don't know what it is. It doesn't appear to be private equity. Doesn't appear to be venture capital. So we just have questions. What exactly is the business that you're involved in? It was kind of like the same questions we asked Hunter Biden that he never could answer. But then, you know, she won't answer any questions. The Ethics Committee is supposed to investigate members. We're not supposed to investigate individual members, but this business is in her husband's name. So we can investigate her husband, and we are going to do that because we're, as you know, in the middle of this Minnesota welfare fraud. And there's been a lot of accusations about a circle of influential Somali Americans that are benefiting from these financial scams in Minnesota. Her name is on the list. Now, she's going to get due process. I don't know if she's guilty, but what I know is she went from 0 to anywhere between $6 and $30 million in a year, and she won't even answer a simple question like you saw there. What did you do?
I mean, it looks very suspicious when you have millions of the Somali cash just flying all over Minneapolis with no scrutiny whatsoever. Wasn't there also a vineyard involved here? The husband's involved in the wine business.
Yeah. You know, there's a thing called money laundering where people have businesses and they deposit, lots of cash. Again, I'm not accusing them of any wrongdoing, but she should answer a simple question. If any member of Congress is asked what business their family's involved in, I've never seen one fail to answer it. That's not a hard question. My husband has a private equity firm and he's done exceptionally well in the last 12 months. She won't answer that question. And everybody in America suspects foul play here.
Right.
And again, we're going to find out. It's not going to be hard to figure out what business he's in and where the money came from. So that's going to be a central part of our entire Minnesota fraud investigation, because she is the leader in Congress, in the district, in the congressional district where the overwhelming majority of the welfare fraud is taking place. Her name, as well as the Attorney General Keith Ellison's name, have been mentioned as people of interest. I'll put it like that, Jesse. So we're gonna follow through on this, and I think she's gonna have some difficult questions to answer.
All right. Well, if Omar starts painting and selling those pieces of art, then I think we're on to something. Congressman, good to see you.
Let me say this. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, or I've lived here more than a half a century, and I've witnessed firsthand some of the worst corruption and public misconduct by elected and appointed officials as possible to encounter in the country. When you get this kind of thing and there's this widespread fraud, you can guarantee that there are elected and or appointed officials who have their hands in it, and they're getting under it, and they're getting something under the table. You can guarantee it. And I would say this: she has had for a few years a nice public salary, but it does not equate to getting $30 million in your assets within 2 years. Something is crooked here. And I would say that one of the problems that we have to deal with is when we start naturalizing people from certain other cultures where dash is ordinary and frequent, dash meaning a bribe. You're an official and you okay something, you expect to get a bribe. That's called dash, D-A-S-H. And she's from Somali. It's rife over there. And by the way, did you do what I suggested you do? Take a look at Somalians as they generally appear and take a look at the ones we're looking at in Minnesota. They aren't typical, are they?
No, they're not. And I didn't watch the movie yet, but I'm going to, though.
Well, the movie's got a lot of real footage in it. And if you take a look at a typical Somalian, you'll find they do not look like the people who are the face of Somali culture in the Minnesota area. They are members of an elite caste. And they left because it got difficult. They had a people's revolution over there. Mm-hmm. And by the way, just for the public's interest, take a look at Black Hawk Down. And it's interesting, the general that comes up with this misbegotten mission that turns into a disaster where a lot of American soldiers had to show great heroism to get out of. Some didn't. They died, and at least one CMH was Congressional Medal of Honor was received. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is one of the officers on the general staff that planned this operation, which was to kidnap a Somalian warlord. That officer on the general staff was the son of the target of the kidnapping. His mother had immigrated from Somalia to the United States, and he grew up in Long Beach, California, and became a Marine officer. So it's interesting what you have going on.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Trump, he he was saying it's a massive financial fraud cover up that is going on. And
Mhm.
Ilhan, the governor Tim Walz, the mayor of Minneapolis, the attorney general, they knew the whistleblowers already testified in front of Congress. Tim Walz and I believe the mayor as well, or the attorney general, they've been subpoenaed to come and speak in front of Congress in February. So it's two different things that's going on here that is major. ICE agents against the protesters trying to cause chaos, and ICE agents trying to do their job. So you have that, and then you have this massive billion plus dollar fraud going on in Minnesota, particularly Minneapolis, which is a major problem. So Trump posted this regarding Tim Walz, saying that Governor Tim Walz, and this was today, called me with the request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seem to be on similar wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him, and that what we are looking for are any and all criminals that they'd have in their possession. The governor very respectfully understood that, and I will be speaking to him in the near future. He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota, and so am I. We had such tremendous success in Washington, D.C., Memphis, Tennessee, and New Orleans, Louisiana, and virtually every other place that we have touched. And even in Minnesota, crime is way down, but both Governor Walz and I want to make it better. So it seemed like now Tim Walz is complying with the with the president. Is it because with this fraud that's going on, he's looking to make a deal?
They've made a deal. I'm in Memphis. He's mentioning Memphis. These crooked people here, these Democrats, appointed and elected, are making deals
to stay out of prison.
To stay out of prison. That's what it is. I know where the skeletons are. Hell, I know where the graveyards are, and I know what's going on around here.
So here's my question now. So now all of a sudden, these Democrat sanctuary cities, politicians, government, mayors, senators, whoever, they seen the light, and now they want to work with the administration. But these are also cities that have a massive billion-dollar fraud that's going on. California.
Yeah, there are also cities that are surrounded by a sea of red. They're blue little points. Like Tennessee is red. The only blue in the whole of Tennessee is in Memphis, and it's really just kind of a tinge of purple because everybody in this area is not Democratic. And most of the people here are very happy to have had the National Guard here who weren't into this pass out coffee bullshit that you were looking at a little earlier. And the crime has gone down, but the Democratic Party filed an action against the governor, who is Republican, the attorney general, who is Republican, and the commander of the National Guard, a major general, who is a nominal Republican. And they'd rather have death and theft on the city streets than to, do something about the problem. Basically, they don't have the competence or the heart to do anything about it because their reason for being elected is not administration. It's being adept at whining about being victims and stealing once you get in office after you bamboozle the public to think that you're actually doing something for them. Memphis has a long history of people that are known for being pro-black or pro-ordinary people. And when you get into what they were actually doing, it was sellouts who were bought off, and they just were encouraged to have loud mouths while they stole. They had too many babies on the side that this corrupt juvenile court was holding over them, white and black ones. They stole a lot of money. They embezzled a lot of money. Their con games, fraud, and all sorts. There are several $100 million in the Memphis area that has been stolen from or in the process of being stolen from the people. So these characters worked out a deal. It's okay, but there are folk that aren't through with this.
Yeah. Well,
There will be hell to pay eventually.